Is prospecting getting harder? I'm joined by Josh Williams of CD Valet to discuss what's changing. Josh, thanks so much for joining me.
Great to be here.
So I want to start out with what challenges are advisors facing today when it comes to finding qualified prospects? Obviously, you hear this all the time that's the advisor's number one pain point is finding those leads.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think there's the long-term challenge, which is how do you build a referral source and a referral mechanism that can be both consistent and scalable? If it's not, how do you plan around it? How do you build a business around that? So that's always been a challenge for advisors, knowing that it's such an important part of their business. But it's getting harder today because AI is really changing how consumers are searching. It's making it harder for advisors to get seen and to differentiate themselves. And in some cases, I think that AI is actually becoming in between the advisor and the customer because it's making it harder to actually establish some of the trust that's so important to those effective relationships.
Oh, absolutely. And as advisors look for more predictable, low-risk entry points to new client relationships, what trends are you seeing in how they engage with investors?
Yeah, I think what we've seen is there's really two trends if you think of on the digital side of how our people are trying to go out and build those referral mechanisms. One sort of model in that space has been what we think of as like really a technology solution looking for a problem. And if you think of really smart people thinking about how AI can create these like really strong sort of profiling and discovery tools to customers with the idea that at the end of it, the advisor is going to get this nice bow on this perfectly profiled customer. When the reality is even customers that want to go and have that connection, they're not comfortable giving all of that personal information to some person or something they don't know. And on the other hand, there are people offering solutions that are essentially lead gen, but these aren't necessarily customers that have high intent or likelihood to convert, so you're getting volume but not necessarily actually meaningful opportunities for an advisor to move ahead. So we've seen that sort of gap in the market, and that's one of the things that's helped us realize like there's an opportunity to help solve for both the advisor and the consumers.
And even going beyond that, the reality is that advisors have more marketplaces and lead gen programs than ever before. They have a lot of options to choose from. And so going back to your point around gaps, what else are you seeing in the current landscape around that?
Yeah, well, I think this whole idea of the gap, that on the one hand you can have people that have high intent, but they're blocked off because they can't develop trust if they're put through a labyrinth of questions. And on the other hand, you might have volume, but not really intent that's going to result in conversion. That's the gap, right, between the two existing models. We got involved at CD Valet because we already have a marketplace built for affluent and mass affluent customers. We've helped them form better savings relationships and work with over 60 banks that get better savings products now in the US. And we recognize a lot of those consumers trust our brand, but are looking for the ability to make that personal connection to an advisor. And so that's really where we're seeing the opportunity for advisors to access this pool of customers. They're already thinking about saving, but they've actually done it, right? So they've actually taken the steps of researching it, saving money, putting a plan in place, and now they're looking for that advisor that can help them take a plan that's going to maybe solve for more complexity, maybe solve for less time in their day, or just a lifestyle or capability where they no longer want to manage it all themselves. So you have these customers that have proven the ability that they can and will and want to work with a trusted advisor. They're just looking for that opportunity to make that relationship and make that connection.
So what advice would you give to advisors that want to get started or maybe struggling a little bit when it comes to the prospecting?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, this is a business built on trust, right? So all the things that advisors do are correct in terms of on a day-to-day, how you build those relationships. I think the historic guidance around building up a personality or a story online is all useful. Now it's trying to take that process and put it in a marketplace where you can find customers that are looking for and are ready to engage, and not basically fall for like the false hope that some solution is going to just deliver it all to us in the nice neat package. Take that information and the strengths that the advisors have and put it in a marketplace where the people can respond, and that's really where the true opportunity is.
I think that's great advice, Josh. Thank you so much for your insights.
Thank you.
For Wealth Management, I'm Shannon Rossick.